and your nose. So they learn. There comes the nose. They learn very quickly. See there? Excellent. So now he turned his butt. Turned the wrong way, wrong from a human standpoint. And a horse, of course, can never do wrong. A horse just, they just operate from instinct. And they do what horses do. So then I just closed that door and turned him back. And we just tried again. And after 2-3 times, he said, okay, I guess that door is closed. So he stopped. And then he brought his nose, started looking at me. And then he started coming to me. So that's really good. Excellent. So far, he's a perfectly normal horse. But I say thus far, we'll see what happens further down the line, but I doubt that he's one of these 1 in 10 million horses that are born with their brain pointing backwards. Doesn't seem like it. There. Gives me the nose. Really good. Open up the door to the right. And there he lowers his head. And now he's starting to slow down. There we go. One of many goals is for him to walk around here very relaxed, confident, trusting, but walking a 4-beat walk with his head low. And just kind of like a dairy cow walking around, walking to the barn, feeling very, content, happy. We don't want we do not want any stress. But I can't force him, and I don't want to force him. He has to come up with the idea himself. And sooner or later, they realize that my energy is like a statue. That I'm not going to be mean to him. I'm not going to chase him. That's the last thing we do. We do not chase the horses. Just around and around and around. Hoping they're, so to speak, going to throw in the towel and become soft, in harmony, trusting, with a self-confidence like Muhammad Ali in the 60s, Mike Tyson in the 80s. So here we go. So now, of course, the gate. There comes the nose. And that's exactly what I want. I want him to give me the nose. To look at me. Look for me. And he is kind of debating. Because the gate, of course, because this is the very first time. We never met this horse before. Never done anything other than we put a halter on him in the pasture and brought him down here to the round pen. So this is the very, very, very first lesson. And he is doing real normal so far. There he comes. Perfect. That's one of the things that we're looking for. So this is very, very normal, very, very good. And then I rub them a little bit. We don't hit the horses, which means we don't pet them like that. We rub them, give them a massage. He seems to be a nice horse so far. We need to start increasing his concentrate. He has free access to green grass, but also hay. But he needs more protein, vitamins, minerals, trace elements, etc. Because there are no muscles here, and there's nothing here. He should not look like this. He should look like that. But he's never been ridden. He's 10 years old, and he's been to several other trainers, and he arrived here the day before yesterday, and they never managed to train him, so he's never been ridden in 10 years. So here we go again, bone block, and there he turns, nose to nose. There, give me both eyes. I take the arm extension, open the door that way. So he is doing really, really good, perfectly normal. So I think this is his very, very first training session since he arrived the day before yesterday. I normally do not work the horses immediately. I give him at least one day off, and he's been drugged. And he traveled here. He was in the bus for many, many, many hours. And he's been in a stall. And he's been in a very, very small gravel enclosure about the size of this round pen by himself. Now he has a herd. He has been turned out in a huge, big pasture, many hectares, lots of green grass, and several horse friends. So I'll let him, so to speak, recuperate. So today is his first lesson. So we don't have to, of course, even if he's a very mature boy, he's 10 years old, but I prefer not to drill the shit out of him. Short lessons. So there, I'll leave the round pen to give him the, so to speak, the ultimate reward. An extra reward, extra whipped cream with sugar on top of the everything else, which means I quit. I run out, leave him alone, and of course it's too early to bring him out of the round pen without a halter and lead rope, because like I said, today is the first day that we began his retraining, reschooling. But so far, perfectly normal. I've had many horses over the last 40, 50 years that have behaved much more different than this guy. Running around, really scared, aggressive, etc. But so we have a lot of plus on our side already, which is very, very good. Good for the horse, because sometimes I have to spend quite a few hours on the ground to get the horse like to plus minus 0 before I can start the real training, so to speak, because they're aggressive, they're scared to death, you can't get close to them, they flip over backwards, they buck, they basically can't do anything with them. And depending on the personality, age, breed, background, etc., because they're all different. Some horses are, so to speak, really easy to retrain. The other ones, well, they're easy, but what I mean is it just takes a little bit more time. They need to be given the time it takes. We can't rush it. It's always the horse who is in charge. They decide, the student, in this case, this nice 10-year-old gelding, he decides when to go to the next level, the next level, the next level. We can't force the horse, and I don't want to. Because then we will not end up with a horse in harmony that will trust us and be soft as a wet towel with the same self-confidence as Muhammad Ali in the 60s, etc. Feather light. Because I sure as hell don't want to mount him and take a chance and where he doesn't trust me, where he's scared, he's bucking, he's tense, he bolts. So by the time we get on the horses, they just don't do that. Because I take away the reason why they would want to buck and bolt, etc. And be tense, nervous, stressed. So now I'm going to put him back and give him a few hours out there in the pasture, and then we'll bring him in later today, give him another lesson. Okay, so far so good. Bye-bye.